Hi, I'm Michaela and welcome to my winter 2022 houseplant tour. I've done this twice now and I don't know if you would be interested at all again in seeing my plants, but I said I was going to do this seasonally, so I'm going to do it seasonally. And now that we're almost at the end of winter, I'm going to show you how my plants are doing. It's really nice outside today, so Bernadette just wants to hang out and sunbathe all day long, but there are people working on the, on the road up there, so she also just wants to bark, and that's why she's so out of breath. So she may be whining throughout the video, and you may hear some road work noises, but there's not much we can do about either of those things. Also, this is the first plant tour with my new camera. Alright, so starting here where we always start, this plant has actually gotten quite a bit bigger. It is just a little Syngonium berry illusion, and it gets about medium light. And up here above the couch is my fern leaf orchid cactus that I talk about pretty frequently. And of course my disco ball. Oh, and there's the road construction, but you don't need to know where I live, so. Here is a little Calico Kittens succulent, and this is gonna be backlit, but yeah. And here is my, oh gosh, Hoya Burtonii. I love this Hoya, and it blooms almost constantly. I'm having a hard time getting far enough away from it to see it very well. Yeah, it's gonna be way too dark. Okay, so over here next to my couch is my Fabricor, and please ignore any cords. Yeah, we're trying to figure out a good way to hide those. Have my Rhaphidophora decursiva, and then I put a little Monstera Peru to hopefully obscure this mess. I don't know. I know my husband is doing something with this stuff, but I don't really know what. And then up on the top, we have a Raven ZZ. And then I probably won't go through each plant in the Fabricor like I usually do. I'm trying to make this video not quite as long as they have been in the past, but I'll just go ahead and show you. You may see some new additions in here, like this one. And I am hoping to convert this to a Hoya cabinet here before long, since I'm really enjoying Hoyas lately. I had put my arm up to shut the door of the cabinet, and Bernadette just kind of stopped by and put her head under my arm. She's a very clingy, cuddly dog, but that's more than okay with me. Oh. See. Please don't lick me. Okay, now we're over here under my mirror. Oh, it's kind of streaky. Huh. Oh, you can actually see my orchid cactus a little better from this angle because it's not so backlit. Yeah, there's my orchid cactus. And then my little cute setup here. And this is actually one of the reasons I actually ended up deciding to film this, because I was going back and forth. I didn't know if I wanted to, but this ZZ propagation after, oh, probably a good 2 to 3 years, finally put out another stalk, and I am thrilled. And here is a little golden pothos and Sophia. Oh, and this is supposed to be a chia pet, but I have not really heard great success stories about chia pets, and I thought it'd be cool just to have a little terracotta Sophia Petrillo, and yeah, I think it is cool. And here's my other ZZ plant. This was one of my first plants I ever got. And then this is a snake plant. I need to get some dead leaves out of there. That was actually a gift from my grandma when I first got into plants. And then over here on my little console, also about this console, it was a steal. It was the deal of a lifetime. We got it at a flea market for like $100, like right after COVID restrictions ended, and I will cherish it forever because it's actually, I don't remember the brand of it, but it's like a real mid-century piece of furniture, and I love mid-century furniture. So comment if you also love mid-century furniture. And here is my Cebu Blue. And it's actually a lot longer, but I just kind of like folded up some strands into here to avoid, oh gosh, it's even longer than it was last time I checked. Yeah. This is one of the few plants that Bernadette actually feels like attracted to eat. So this is the only one she has ever tried to munch on. And I didn't want her to do that because I know they're not supposed to have pothos. It did not make her sick or anything. I don't know if it's because she's so big, but she had a few leaves for sure. Also, I don't really want to get them caught in the vacuum. And then here is my little philodendron micans. And, oh dang it, a pothos that I forget the name of every time. Yeah, it's just decor. And then a little variegated string of hearts. And then this is apparently my begonia collection. This is my newest begonia. It is a begonia maculata whitei. And then this is, get down here a little better. I think this one is called a begonia Miss Mummy, if I remember correctly. It is really pretty. It's like it's kind of an iridescent pink type of color. And yeah, I love pink. And then back here, I have a begonia My Special Angel, I think it's called. And it did get burnt on my grow light up here, so I'm probably gonna have to take some cuttings. But I really thought that I could just leave it back here and let it get really tall, but it is starting to burn on this light because it's a stronger one. Okay, here is a little ficus corner in my kitchen. I have a fiddle leaf fig here, a rubber plant, and a ficus altissima. And these are some of the first plants I ever got, and they are still thriving. Oh, that's Bernadette scratching her face, if you can hear that. And this fiddle leaf fig is loving life under this light here. You can't beat a fiddle leaf fig. Let me know if you also saw my embarrassing plant stories, and you know how I feel about fiddle leaf figs. And a little ficus altissima. Okay, here in my kitchen window, and it is going to be a little backlit, and I am sorry. Here's my big Pilea peperomioides. And look at all these little babies in here. And I really should repot it, but I can't because of this cute little thing down here coming out the drainage hole. Let me see if I can get, yeah, you can see it. There's just a little baby coming out the bottom, and I can't make myself repot it because I'm afraid I would tear the leaves off. And then I have a pitcher plant here, and it is not doing the greatest, but it has started to do better once I've probably doubled the watering. So yeah, we'll see how that changes things. And then here is, oh gosh, another one of the first plants I ever got is a string of bananas. And it is touching the ground, and I should take cuttings and put them back in here. I just haven't gotten around to it. And if this window is dirty, that's because Bernadette really likes to rest her chin right here, and she gets a little nose print on the windows. And she's a Saint Bernard, so she has very floppy lips, and it takes a lot to keep it clean. And I have actually rearranged a little bit above my sink. Not much though, just some pothos and peperomia. Now we're in the dining room, and here's my dining room pothos. And this is one of the biggest differences from my last plant tour. This is my propagation tent for my Etsy shop. Here are some new imports acclimating over here. And few other plants over here in this window. Have an orchid cactus, a peperomia hope, Hoya calistophylla. There's my greenhouse. And just a little Syngonium berry illusion. Some kind of Aglaonema, I don't remember the name of it. A Ficus elastica taniki. And I need to repot this Ficus Audrey very soon. It needs to be watered like every couple of days. It's so root bound. So maybe I'll do that today. A couple of Hoyas. I keep meaning to give these to my mom and I keep forgetting. A Ficus triangularis. And then I've showed this before, but this is one of my favorite marketplace finds, this little plant stand. Okay, so we're back here in my plant room. Here's my cute plant mirror. We have a Scindapsus silvery Ann here. Ooh, this is a pretty leaf. A Heartleaf philodendron. And a pink Syngonium here. And then a Ficus elastica ruby, Syngonium, not Syngonium, Scindapsus exotica, rickrack cactus, and this has these things because turns out it needs way more water than I would have thought. And it is backlit, and I'm sorry. Here's a philodendron bipinifolium. Ooh, look at this leaf. This is such a cool philodendron. I love these. Okay, and then here is a philodendron Paraiso verde, and it definitely looks kind of rough right now. I've taken a lot of cuttings off of that plant. And then philodendron tenue. Okay. And then some more golden pothos cuttings. And a string of pearls. And some kind of euphorbia I found. And then here is another fiddle leaf fig. And this one's growing really pretty. Look at this. But she has her own grow light and she enjoys it. And then a little Hoya macrophylla. And then my big Jose Bueno here. And it really needs to be repotted, but I don't even know where I could do that in the house. So I am waiting until it is really nice outside to do that, because the leaves are getting a little bit smaller and it has to be watered very, very frequently. If you see any of these pink tags, I have put those in plants that I know I need to repot come spring. And then all of this stuff is about the same as it has been, so I won't really get into that. And then there's my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. my philodendron pastazanum, and I'm thinking I might take some cuttings of that soon. And here is my monstera albo mother plant, and she's getting another new leaf. It'll be any day now. And then, this is very exciting. I just got this yesterday. This is a monstera Thai constellation, and look at how big these leaves are. Here's how big it is compared to my hand. They are massive, and I got to trade for this. So I'm really excited about that. I love this plant. Thai constellation is one of those that like I didn't really seek it out, but now that I've seen it in person, I think they are stunning. And I think they look a lot different from the albos as well. So I do personally see a need to have both. Of course, you can't have too many plants. And then here is the top cutting from my albo, and I just talked about this in a video, so I won't bore you talking about my albos again. Here's a philodendron El Chaco Red, Hoya carrii, and I actually moved my Anthurium Regal outside of my cabinet, and it is doing surprisingly well. I thought it was just going to crisp up right away. This one was already like that, so that is what it is. I just haven't cut it off yet. I feel like the plant is probably still using something in that leaf, so. But this leaf was not hardened off yet when I had to move it out, but it was like folded over onto the grow light, so it got very, very slightly burnt on there, but not too bad. So yeah, it just does not fit in any cabinets at this point. Here is my philodendron gloriosum. I say this all the time, but you can't beat a good gloriosum. And I showed this shelf in a video recently as well, so yeah, I'll just go over this a little bit. Oh, I do want to show this plant. If I can get it out. This is a Syngonium aurea, and it has such pretty variegation. I didn't know if I was really a fan of like the yellow variegation or not, but on this plant at least, I definitely am. I'm gonna set that back in there another time. And we have the good old Hoya polyneura, and Syngonium erythrophyllum. And look at how big this leaf got. Also, the backs of these leaves are so purple. Very cool plant. A little philodendron Brazil, or I guess it's not little. And then I'm not gonna move too much stuff. There's nothing crazy back here. Just kind of stuff that doesn't really need me too much. And it is obscured by plants, of course. Oh gosh. And then here's my final attempt at trying to import Scindapsus lucens or Anodendrum, whatever it's called. This is always how it turns out for me. Okay, so here is the Mills bow. And I also just showed this in a video. So if I'm just repeating myself about that, I am sorry. But I think since my last plant tour, this cabinet has changed a lot. So look at this Hoya caudata sumatra. It has really latched on and is growing. Here's my little philodendron strawberry shake, and it gave me a green leaf just now, so I am really hoping that we get some variegation back again. Here is one of my Homolomina sumatra, redback I believe. This is such a cool plant. I really want these to thrive for me, but they are tricky. And I have a Hoya croniana and a Hoya serpens. And then on this next shelf is a variegated philodendron heteroecium and a philodendron pink princess and a peperomia pink lady. And I actually stuck this thing in here to dye, and it is doing really well, and it's really bright pink. It's looking a little bit more washed out on camera, but it's very much a bubblegum shade. And then here in the corner, we have my Anthurium warraquenum, and she is loving life in this cabinet. Look how big that leaf is. I've been really surprised at how easygoing this plant has been for me. And I know that is not everyone's experience, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe I just got lucky here, but I'll take it. And then here is my Anthurium crystallinum. That's its newest leaf, and it is so pretty. Philodendron verrucosum. 1 out of 3. Forgetii. I love Forgetii, and I will never stop talking about it. Philodendron El Chaco Red, an Anthurium magnificum, but I'm kind of wondering if it's not a magnificum silver. It was sold to me as a magnificum, and it was just a tiny little seedling, so we'll just see. I don't really care what it is. It's just hanging out in my Mills bow here. Loving life. And then back here is a Hoya linearis, and I think I'm gonna move that here soon. Here is another Homolomina Sumatra redback, and I had it somewhere else and it got burnt. Then we have what is this one called? A variegated Homolomina. And this one died back to a stick right after I imported it. And we've got some cute little variegated leaves, so I'm happy to see those. And then here is my Hoya Dekai. I don't remember how to pronounce this, and I looked it up and I forgot. Yeah, we're hoping for the best on that one. Not holding my breath though. I'm gonna water it right now while I'm thinking about it. See, that is why I keep watering cans around, like I said in my how to care for tons of houseplants video. That's why. And then here, oh dagnabbit. Here are some Hoya croniana black cuttings. Some kind of Anthurium stump. Don't remember what that was, and I did not label it. And here is my pride and joy, my Philodendron Splendid. Look at that leaf. This cabinet seems like it's just like super packed, and maybe it is, but it's also partially this. For some reason, the way this camera is set up makes it seem even more packed. Then here's an Anthurium radicans luxurians, Philodendron glorious, and I just talked about all these too. Philodendron majestic, and it's getting a new leaf. Okay, and then a Philodendron Ploumanii, watermelon Dischidia. What else? My favorite Forgetii. Look how big this leaf is compared to my hand. It's huge. And it's so perfectly round. I just I'm not gonna get over that leaf. And then I just showed this plant as well. Okay, so that's the Mills bow. And then down here next to it, I have my philodendron ploumanii, and it is getting 2 new leaves. And Bernadette actually tore this one up a little bit. She was very, very excited to see Samuel when he got home from work, so she like sat in this plant pretty much, and luckily this was all the damage that was done, but the leaf is still hanging on, so I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so here we are in the laundry room, and if you can believe it, we have actually started to work on this room again, and this will be the last room in our house to finish, so I'll be glad when this is finally done. But yeah, I love old houses, but they are a lot of work, in case there was any doubt in your mind as to that fact. I guess not all old houses, but like a fixer-upper kind of house, definitely. It's not as quick as HGTV would have you believe. I do want to show you this giant leaf. I can't even hardly show you this leaf. But yeah, this is just kind of a little planty room here. I have my variegated peace lily. Some kind of euphorbia my grandma gave me. And look at how well this string of turtles is doing. It's growing like a weed. Here's all my cuttings I took today. And then, so this sink is actually functional now. Here are just another little batch of imports that came in late last night. And yeah, I think that might be all the plants in my house. Okay, we're back in the living room because look, it's late enough in the afternoon that the disco ball is doing its thing. Oh. Okay, so that is all of the plants in my house, I think. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment and follow me on Instagram at Queen City Tropicals, and I will see you again soon. And Bernadette says bye too.
Mm.